Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new and special video called, or maybe I will change the title, I don't know, but why it's useless to become a CC. First thing first, what is a CC? CC means community contributor. It's basically people that earned wargaming trust enough for them to have a really big impact on the game by being able to talk with wargaming, to change their decision, to kind of help them growing the game in the good way. Don't worry, this video subject is not to criticize CCs in any way. I just want to talk about the community contributor status. I'm not here to start a hate towards CCs. I couldn't care less. Now, the point of this video is that I think becoming a CC is completely useless, or kind of completely useless nowadays. Let me explain to you briefly what I mean by that. For those of you who are following the channel for a very long time, you know that since the start of the channel, I never wanted to be a community contributor. Never. I never asked for wargaming. I think I asked with my previous channel that was a French one, but after that I decided no, I don't want to be a CC. And I have my reasons, and the main one being when you criticize wargaming and you are a CC, you need to do it kind in a soft way, let's say. And I'm not really known for being soft, let's be real. And I knew if I got under a CC contract with wargaming, I could not break the rules. I would have break the rules sooner or later. So useless. But you know what? We don't really care about my opinion. We're here to talk objectively about CCs. First thing first, why is it good to be a community contributor? Let me explain to you briefly. There are actually 4 things that make this quite a good thing to be. First, and I have them written on my phone because it's easier for me not to get lost, the testing program. When you're a CC, you have access to the testing program. Wargaming will give you the tank in advance. For example, right now they are testing the TVP, which is the upcoming Tier 10 Czechoslovakian Tech Tree tank. And those CCs have access to that tank, which is quite a good thing because it allows you to give some feedbacks to Wargaming to either nerf or buff the tank. This is pretty cool, in my opinion, to be part of the testing program, knowing that if you're a good player, you don't really need to have a CC account. All you gotta do is joining one of the biggest clans and being talk with the clan leader, because that's pretty much the clan leader that decides who is testing. And if you get into it, you will have the right to test them as well. Second thing, sponsored giveaways by wargaming. For example, let's take the example of Mitzi. When he reaches 50,000 subscribers, you can be 100% sure that wargaming will grant Mitzi 50,000 gold for him to be able to do a huge giveaway. That's how it works. They want to promote their YouTubers that are community contributors, and there is no harm into that. That's actually a great thing because it shows that wargaming cares about YouTubers being CCs. Now, one last thing, not last thing, but still, sometimes wargaming will promote your videos when you're a YouTuber and CC at the same time, which is a great thing because when you see wargaming on their social networks, Discord with more than 100,000 people, their YouTube channel with more than 150,000 people, etc., it's kind of a really great thing from wargaming because it allows you to get way more visibility. Now, the last thing, and I think that's the best, for the YouTubers that don't have the money to be able to buy every single straight tank that is coming into the shop, you get access to a press account. Not necessarily, that's only for community contributors that have access to the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which is, we're going to talk about that further after. But the press account is basically an account given by wargaming to you where you have access to all the tanks as soon as they are released, and even before they are released, which is quite a good thing if you want to prepare your videos on tanks to be able to release it at the minute the tank is in the shop, all these kind of things. Sorry guys, don't worry, it's not Corona. Now, those are all the good side about being a CC. So if we sum up, testing tanks, being able to give some feedbacks to wargaming onto not releasing certain tanks. For example, the best example at the moment is the Emil 1951. The tank was not released because the CCs told wargaming it's way too broken, please nerf it before before it comes back in the shop and Wargaming listen, and also having the press account, therefore not having to spend too much money. Now we're gonna see the downsides, because there are a lot of downsides. First thing first, the downsides are only for big YouTubers, for YouTubers that allow themselves to make a living through YouTube. I think the only one that are concerned actually about that at the moment is probably me and Drudel, because I don't think Drudel has a CC account, same as me. But we are making a living out of World of Tanks Blitz, even for the, let's be honest, even for the Christmas event. If we have both to spend 500 euros on that event, we don't care. It's only one fucking week of work on YouTube. We don't care. I mean, you need to put that in mind to understand the following points on why it's useless for big YouTubers to be CC. First thing first, the more you grow, the more visibility you have not being a CC, and the more people tend to look forward to you and leak stuff to you, because they know as you're not affiliated with Wargaming, if you get your hands on juicy informations, you will leak them. And that's one of the greatest thing about not being affiliated with Wargaming, because we have plenty of players from different countries. We have Russia, etc., mostly Russia, let's be honest, that are data mining. Data mining is pretty much having access to all the infos Wargaming is giving out to the CCs without having the CC status, and therefore without being affiliated to Wargaming. Next, we are not under a contract with Wargaming. We can criticize them the way we want, as long as we don't cross the line, of course, but we don't have to do it softly. If they put a tank in the shop just because they want money, we can say, yeah, you are greedy fuckers, and that's a shame, you're scamming your players. A CC will not be able to say these kind of things. And I think that's good, because honestly, doing that, it allows you to really express yourself the way you want to express yourself. Don't mind me, Wargaming is actually really nice to YouTubers that don't have any CC account and that are crossing the line. I'm the perfect example, because trust me, they are doing an amazing job at preventing my strikes or anything like that. And for that, I really want to thank them. Now, not being a CC gives you access, and it joins the data mining stuff, it gives you access to sensitive informations. The more the game grows, the more things are getting leaked. Non-disclosure agreement, data mining, battle passes, stats of tanks that are in testing, etc. In the end, even without being a CC, I have access to all the leaking informations, and sometimes even more, because the leakers actually trust me more than a community contributor, because they still fear that the community contributor will go to Wargaming saying, hey, I have this player that is that have access to sensitive informations, maybe you should try to investigate or anything like that. I'm not throwing the rock at CCs here, it's just how I think those leakers could think. I never know, I don't know if it happened, and honestly I couldn't care less, but all I can say is that they know that if they leak stuff to me, I'm not gonna snitch on them. I'm not gonna say anything to Wargaming, simply because those people are taking a risk by leaking, and I don't want them to be banned because of something they leaked to me, because those are precious informations. Now, one last thing from a business perspective, why it's a bad thing to be a CC, simply because, let's be honest, most people on this game don't like Wargaming. Crate system, overpriced tanks, etc., etc. And therefore, if you place yourself with the people against Wargaming, it will help you to grow. Of course, you need to do it correctly. It's not like, yeah, I'm not with Wargaming because it's cool not to be with Wargaming. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, when there is something to criticize harshly, because you know a lot of people are thinking the same way as you do it, and people will gather around your ideas, and therefore you will grow faster. At least that's what I experienced. I know a lot of people are following me because they know I don't give a shit. If something is a scam, I will tell you directly that it's a scam, for example. And whereas when you're a CC, you still need to be soft on what you say about Wargaming. You can still criticize, don't mind me. I'm not saying all the CCs are bad and that you should follow my channel rather than following them. That's not true. What I really want you to understand that we're talking about the community contributor status. We are not here to destroy the reputation of CCs, because they're actually doing an amazing job at giving out Wargaming some informations, at trying to make the game as balanced as possible through their power by giving some advices on how to run the game to wargaming. But when you are big, you don't need a CC account. It's literally useless, and it's more of a burden than anything else, at least in my opinion, because I want to remind you, it's only my opinion. To sum up what I wanted to say in this video, when you are small, being a community contributor is insane because it will allow you to grow faster, you have access to all the tanks. As you're not making a living yet off YouTube, you need that press account for you to be able to do reviews on tanks without having to buy them. Therefore, it allows you to run your channel at a cheaper price. But when you're big, when you're making a living, when you don't really care about spending 500 euros on a tank anymore, being affiliated with wargaming is a burden, at least in my opinion. But your opinion may differ, and I'm looking forward to see what you guys think about the CC account. And I would like also some CCs to actually tell us in the comments what it's like to be affiliated with wargaming. And no hate, I don't want anybody to hate on anyone. The purpose of this video is not to throw the rock at community contributors saying, yeah, you're snitching, you're affiliated with wargaming, you're traitors. No, CCs actually has a lot of good sides because you are really improving the game by helping wargaming through their decisions. That's probably one of the most honorable things to do when you love the game. It really shows your interest and love for the game, which is something awesome. But it's not for everyone. It needs you to be either mature or have kind of a soft character, because you can't criticize wargaming harshly when you are a community contributor, and that's completely logic. If you expect CCs to spit on wargaming all the time, you are on the wrong game or even on the wrong planet. Anyway, this video is now over. That was a little bit my thoughts about CCs. It may differ, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna differ for a lot of people out there, and that's totally logic because I know I'm not in the majority thinking about that problem. But feel free to leave me a comment to tell me what you think about that. And I'm gonna see you soon for a new video, hopefully in less than 8 hours. Au revoir.